In this video, we are going to tell you about what is GST Composition Scheme, what are its features and who all can avail this scheme. Composition Scheme is for those taxpayers whose turnover in a financial year does not exceed rupees 50 lakh, as it is more convenient and provides a range of benefits to them. It also helps them to escape from the cumbersome process of filing GST return. There are some key features of GST Composition Scheme, like it is meant for taxpayers whose aggregate turnover does not exceed rupees 50 lakh in a financial year. Tax rates are expected to be between 1% and 3%. Taxpayers are not eligible for input tax credit. It only applies to interstate supplies, that is, those who supply within a state. Taxpayers registered under this scheme will be required to file returns once every quarter. They issue bill of supply instead of tax invoice, and if a person is found not eligible for this scheme, then the tax authorities can impose a penalty on him. There are some taxpayers who cannot avail the composition scheme, like a casual taxable person, a non-resident person, service providers except for those dealing in food or drink, etc. There are three types of rate under composition scheme, such as 1% on manufacturers or other than manufacturers of specific goods, 2.5% on sale of building, and 0.5% on any other supplier eligible for composition tax. The return filing process under composition scheme is very easy, as the taxpayer is only required to indicate the total value of supplies and the tax paid at the composition rate. He will also need to declare his invoice level purchase information from normal taxpayers. Now, let us understand how a composite dealer is different from a regular dealer. A composite dealer, like it is shown in the example, is not allowed to avail ITC, and hence the amount will be added to the cost, unlike for regular dealer where ITC will be allowed to the taxpayer. He is not allowed to collect tax in composition scheme, wherein in regular scheme he is allowed to collect tax and issue tax invoice. Registering for composition scheme can be done in two ways. Before GST comes to force, whoever opts provisional GST registration and want to opt for composition scheme must file an intimation before GST becomes applicable or through migration. Secondly, after GST comes to force, where the taxpayer files the intimation after GST becomes applicable. Validity of composition scheme will remain valid so long as the taxpayer satisfies all the conditions required for composition scheme, like he is eligible for the same, his turnover does not exceed rupees 50 lakh, etc. There are some conditions for the taxpayer under composition scheme, like he shall mention composition taxable person not eligible to collect tax on supplies at the top of the bill of supply, and composition taxable person on every notice. To know more on GST, please refer to other videos by LegalRaasta. You can also log on to our website www.legalraasta.com. In fact, you can get GST registration and GST filing services from LegalRaasta. CAs or accountants can use LegalRaasta software for filing GST return. Call us at 875 000 8585 for more details.